Ladies and gentlemen, today the CS market is up again massively. We're seeing some hype in the phase twos. We're seeing some hype in the lesser, just normal average play skins, the Dopplers. Everything is bouncing back immensely. The Dragon Lore almost at all-time highs again. And high tiers are the main thing that I want to focus on in this video. If you guys have watched the recent videos, you'll note that the M4 Howl was one skin that I was talking about buying a lot. $4,800 for this thing up right now, up about 3% in the past 7 days. I don't know if that's even accurate for the past 30 days, but past 60 days, it's up quite a bit. Now, one person, and I literally tried to buy one of these, so this is what I want to talk about. I talked to Zipple, who has like 3 or 4 of these, asked me the price, 4,500, can't do it. There's a bunch listed out there, and I'll come back to that later. But there's a bunch listed out there. If we go to Price Empire, we could see all the listings. CS Money Market, one for 46.50. Skinport says there's one for 47.17. Now, there's actually one for 46.50 on Skinport that I literally tried to buy this morning, or I shouldn't even say this morning, 30 minutes ago before recording this video. Thing is, with Skinport, they only accept debit card and one credit card that I don't have, and my debit card kept declining it, and I called my bank, and I couldn't get in touch with a customer support person at my bank, so I couldn't buy it. So I'm going to leave this here for you guys. This is a great price to buy this thing. I tried to buy it. I can't do it. Shout out Chase Bank. You fucking suck. Anyway, part of the reason why I want to buy an M4 Howl is because it did have a really solid retracement, and even though I definitely think it could come back down a bit in price, still, for the long term, I think it's going to be a great hold, even at these prices. Like high tier skins, as I always cover, I'll go back to the Dragon Lore. Where is she? If we check the long-term price history of the Dragon Lore, for example, it had the same thing kind of happen as a Howl. Massive blow up, and then it blew up again, and it's doing super, super well. And the thing, this is why I covered my conversation with Zipple, is he says recent sales on Buff and Float have been higher than that. Not in a rush to sell anything right now. As I always say with high tier skins, the people that are spending like $5,000 on skins don't care about a few $100 deviation in price action. They just hold him for a super long time. He doesn't even want to sell me his. I'm sure if I paid him $46.50, he wouldn't sell me it either, even $4,700, because they're selling for more on Buff, which makes sense on his end, but I'm trying to get one, so it kind of sucks for me. This video is sponsored by Skin Club. Skin Club is a CSGO case opening site with an honest and provably fair system to ensure you're getting the best results. They also have daily cases where you can win crazy prizes every single day for completely free. And if you ever get a skin you don't like, you can take it to the upgrader to turn it into something better. Of course, they do offer normal case unboxings, battles, and shared battles as well. So if other players pull, everybody gets rewarded for it. With the current Age of Mythology event, you can unbox limited time cases and use tokens you earn for completely free items in the item shop as well. Skin Club also has every single deposit method you could want, including PayPal, cash, crypto, and skins. So be sure to click that link at the top of the description for a free 7% deposit bonus today. So I'm personally still going to be keeping an eye out for the Howl. If I could find one on the site that accepts crypto for a fair price, that'd be great, but I'm still going to have to keep looking. Now, of course, there's a ton of other skins that are up massively in price as well. The M9 Doppler Phase 2 is one I want to cover because Phase 2s, once again, have done incredibly well. I've looked at a lot of Doppler skins in the past few hours because I was debating buying one, and I just can't bring myself to do it. And let me explain why. This is the I probably should. Yeah, I could look at the all-time chart. This thing is still gone from $2,100 1 month ago. I guess kind of closer to 2 months ago, but $2,000 to $4,000, and now it's still once again $3,600. I can't do that. It's a bit too crazy. So let's look at the last time this thing massively jumped up. It about doubled in price over a month period in 2023, and then died down super slowly over a long period of time. Same thing happened. Consolidated for a long period of time again, kept blowing up, consolidated. So it's like, I don't think you could buy into this super quick hype in an item like a Phase 2 Doppler. I think it's too crazy for the moment. Sure, I think there's a lot of hype related to these Phase 2 Dopplers, but the price is too expensive. $3,600 for this thing. That's a lot of money. And unfortunately, I can't pull the trigger there. I think the risk to reward is just too much. That's why I think high tiers are super good right now. That's why I'm looking to buy a Howl. That's why I held my Dragon Lore through this price action. Now, with the low tier skins as well, a lot of them are doing pretty decent. The AK Vulcan, as I covered at the beginning of the video, we could check the price action of this thing because this is kind of one of those skins that I don't typically cover that much. In the past 2 years, Another one of these skins with long-term consolidation and then just blows up again in price. Now, I wouldn't be buying here for this thing either. Do I think it's going to be fine long-term? Sure, but it's just, there's nothing too special about this chart. I don't think it's got that much more room to run. I don't think it's going to run up as a bunch of other skins. There is some other skins that haven't exactly blown up and have a similar chart to that thing. The Op Fade is one of the recent ones I've covered. The Glock Emerald and the Gamma Dopplers are some other ones. The thing is, the Glock Emerald has very high supplies. So does the Op Fade, technically. But look at this. This is like that period in the AK Vulcan where it was chilling for a super long time and then just blew up recently. The Op Fade at 900 something bucks. I don't think that's a horrible purchase. I think it's a good op skin. It got buffed in CS2. It looks fine. I don't think it's ridiculously too expensive. And I think it has a lot of room to grow here. Once again, you can see long periods of consolidation blow up. Another long period of consolidation. And I would say this thing is probably going to blow up again. I'm surprised it hasn't. I'm surprised the move for this thing was this quick. But I guess there's a lot of people just looking to get rid of them. But this is a fine level to buy this thing at for sure. Another skin I was looking at is the Butterfly Gamma Doppler, and I was looking at the phases 1 and 3 because they are the cheapest phases. Now, the thing that kind of scares me personally with these skins is that they're in the Dreams and Nightmares case, and the Dreams and Nightmares case is still an active drop in the game, but they're also in the Riptide case as well. Dreams and Nightmares case also costs like $2 on the Steam market, so it is kind of sort of an expensive case. I don't know. I don't know what you want to consider an expensive case anymore, and buying into this chart is a little bit sketchy because it could have very volatile price action. In the past 2 weeks, everybody that bought one's in massive profit, like $500. It wouldn't surprise me at all if a ton of people would start selling them. Some of the more risky stuff you could buy, for example, is maybe some Karambit Dopplers, as they didn't they did maybe for a short while retrace the whole move, got back down to 2200, which would be a fine level to buy. The thing is, the move happened so quick, it was very hard to get that price. They went all the way up to $4,000, sold mine for 3,600, back to 2,200, and this like is the level you could consider buying at. 2,200, 2,100, that's fine. Now they're doing well again. For the long term, I think it's a fine buy. $3,000's a bit too expensive for me. Once again, I sold mine for 3,600. I don't really have any intention to rebuy that. I'm personally looking for something like a Howl, for example, because I think it's a lot more solid of a skin. Now, I would say if the market does continue to blow up again, and if we somehow get past all-time highs again, which I think is really unlikely, but I mean, if it happens, it happens. I'll definitely be selling some more skins and be waiting for a dip for sure, because I mean, if a field tested Dragonlord gets up to like 10 grand, for example, I could very well sell. And we'll just see how quickly it happens if we get a bunch more 10% days, because a 6% day in a super high tier item like this is not very common. We only essentially recently saw this when the market recently blew up, and now we're seeing the same thing happen again. So we could have more people buying in this time because they thought they missed out at the beginning just a few weeks ago. So we could potentially see stuff go higher. Remember, you aren't going to lose money by taking profits, and skins are probably going to be at a lower price at some point in like the next 6 months, especially if we continue having plus 10% days. So don't get too greedy. Try and take profits. Look for a lower entry. And we'll see how things go the next few weeks. And I'll definitely update you guys if I sell anything more and if I somehow manage to get my hands on a Howl. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. Check out the sponsor, link at the top of the description. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.